So, last time we met our kindreds, things started going down. Why don't one of you guys give me a little recap? See what you guys remember, what the important parts were for you. Hear it and go from there.
Yeah, I'll give it a go then. So last time, Clarissa and Cole were being followed on leaving Elysium, but due to some very good driving, they managed to lose the people that were pursuing them. They then went and tracked down the escaped Tremere, which is Darius, who was hiding in the dwelling with one of his friends named Gregory, the best NPC. They managed to convince them that taking him back to Karsh would be the best idea, and Cole would try and prove his innocence, and that would be the best plan in the long run to actually be able to save him in the long term. They made their way back to the Haven in the end with the unwelcome house guests in tow, where they found Ramírez with his art piece that he had taken from Elysium. They brought him up to speed on what they were trying to convince everybody to do, and then they also tried to convince him to give up his art piece and bring that back to Karsh. However, at that point, Clarissa used her powers to mesmerize him, and he followed her orders, taking the piece with him back to Elysium. There, Cole vouching for Darius and having to go into more depth now on an investigation that has gone unsolved for the last 4 years, the burning of the Chantry, that now he has to solve in 7 days. Or yes, he may indeed meet his own final death if that doesn't go down. Ramírez has been ordered by Karsh to be blood bonded to his worst enemy, so that's a slow process that will eventually make him the slave or the pet to Li Zhu. And Clarissa has meetings with clan members coming up that may further her goals within the Camarilla, and I think they're the key things I remember of what's going down at the moment.
James, that was incredible.
Amazing.
I think that is the most succinct recap that we could have had. That's perfect, James. Thank you. Okay, so we start our journey later that evening, back at the Haven. Gregory is not here for now.
Oh.
As you have momentarily seemed to lose him, leaving you guys, all three, left behind from the shock of the evening's events. A lot has happened. Dawn's probably because you had a sleep and then you went to Karsh, so there's probably still some time to plan or do something else if you want.
Yeah, I think we had left it fairly early in the evening, so we have.
Yeah. It turned out a lot of sort of going backwards in time for Cole's character, wasn't it? Of trying to work out some of the things that he had done to investigate the Chantry before. So I think there's a bit of that went on at the end of the last session. So yeah, we've probably not had a vast amount of time since the Karsh meetings and stuff, and getting back that night.
Today's session and maybe the next session, we'll play a little bit fast and loose with the timeline. Some things might happen before, some things might happen after, depending on sort of what happens. Just because it's the most convenient to get you guys up to the same timeline as the anarchs.
No problem.
So yeah, I will allow you to sort of pick and choose which character's story you would like to focus on first, if that makes sense, and then we'll go from there.
I feel like Cole's is the most urgent.
Yeah, I was going to say so. The honest opinion would be Cole's thing is the most absolute pressing of the things that at least we're aware of.
So I still have, I think at this point in time, I still have one night of spying on Li Zhu.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for this evening, that is all Cole is going to do, because he's probably not going to get this opportunity again. So he's just trying to get as much information as he possibly can. He's just going to spend the rest of the evening creepy stalking her through mirrors and other reflective surfaces.
So what you see is mostly her just sort of walking through the city's Chinatown, which is her domain. It's been allotted to her after she crossed over from the Anarchs during Karsh's takeover of the city, where she used to collude with the New Promise Mandarinate as part of the Anarchs. And yeah, you see, like, at all times, she is basically being followed by, like, at least 2 or 3, like, men in, like, black suits who sort of seem to be serving as her guards. And then at other times, you might find her in, like, sort of rich, like, stereotypically Asian, like decorated rooms, like, not, like, authentically, but, like, the sort of kitschy faux Asian that you might see in, like, a lot of Chinese restaurant places. If you know what I mean.
Oh yes, yeah.
But, like, turned
Mhm.
up to the max, if that makes sense. So very
Like touristy as opposed to authentic.
yeah, I guess so. And yeah, always escorted by at least some of these Asian men in suits.
So I guess the main things he's looking out for are people she comes into contact with, locations that she's going, and where, if at all, she's been feeding during that night. Just those 3 are the big ones he's looking out for.
There are some sort of bars, some what might seem like a backroom poker game here and there. Like, she seems to be making the rounds. Like, she's always basically on the move and, like, visits certain establishments for like maybe 15 minutes, half an hour at a time, and then she moves on to the next place. You see a lot of faces, but none that you are immediately able to place.
Okay, I think Cole will take a note of the route she does.
Okay, yeah. You can... Yeah, it's... Because it's like you see her through, like, reflective surfaces. It's, like, a little bit tricky to piece together, but you think if you would walk in the area, you might be able to recognize and reconstruct her paths if that's necessary. But it will probably require some, like, investigation roll or something.
Luckily, that's Cole's forte.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, that is what Cole is spending this evening on, because it's an opportunity he can't really miss.
Okay. In the meantime, is the rest doing anything?
Ramírez might be trying to just figure out how much he's in for with the blood bonding thing, and is Cole on the right lines of how quickly or not quickly it would take place is probably what he's trying to work out. He's trying to figure out if he is in the situation of drink once and he's done, or will he really have time? He's not sure about that, so he would be trying to find out information on that if he can, in amongst what bits of stuff is here in the Haven on certain subjects.
Roll me, I guess, intelligence and occult.
Okay. Come on. Something.
Pretty good.
Okay. Not for me. Not bad. I'll take that.
No, that's really good, actually. It requires 3 separate occasions of feeding, or 3 separate occasions during which you are fed blood to fully become engrossed by the blood bond. However, from the first one and each subsequent step, the bond will start to affect how you see a person. With the first drink, like, the hard edges of how you look at someone might be, like, slightly softened, and each subsequent step towards a full blood bond sort of changes the way you think about a person. But it does require 3 separate servings of blood spaced apart. I think it's a month apart. I might be wrong on that one. I would need to double check.
No, that's fair enough. It's in that range, though, Seb. Is that's fine with me to know from that point of view. Then, not a one and done, but certainly changes start happening fairly quickly. So yeah, he's aware of that, which is the main thing.
I think it's either 1 week or 1 month in between.
That's a significant difference.
I know.
But I can't remember months, but I cannot remember for sure. I am looking it up at the moment. And as you know, as soon as you're blood bonded you know it's very difficult to resist, like the commands or or very difficult to resist your regnant, so you're the person that blood bonds you. It doesn't specifically specify. It's just 3 separate occasions, and they must be no longer than a year apart. So,
so it could be the space of a single evening, just breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my god. No, that.
It might, I think he would assume it might be a little bit more formal than that to be part of the just the Camarilla's sort of rules.
For this case, I'm gonna play that it probably needs like a little bit longer to take effect. So let's say it needs to be at least a week in between the things.
Okay, so yeah, he's aware of that. So yeah, he's been looking through some of Cole's books and just sort of whatever has been allowed to have a look at on that sort of a subject, just taking it in and sort of sitting there quietly mulling some of that over as Cole has been off doing his own thing in his own headspace, I guess, in that respect.
If you've been going through Cole's library, you would probably learn about the Tremere relationship with blood bonds.
Oh yeah, because the books would be from that viewpoint, possibly.
Yeah. They had, well, before the incident in Vienna, their entire culture was based around
the hierarchy of it, isn't it? Yes.
A blood bond pyramid scheme. So yeah.
What a way to put it.
I mean, it's literally called the pyramid.
Yeah. Where each level was bonded to the level above them, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
And how did the pyramid drop? How did it? What went wrong in that situation?
The main chantry, like the tippy top of the pyramid, in Vienna, the House de Hexy got destroyed by the Second Inquisition, and that had a massive. Yeah, it had a very supernatural effect on the Tremere, as that all suddenly disappeared.
So they took out the head, and it caused problems for the rest. Okay. Yeah. So he would sort of be coldly taking some of that in and realizing, he's in a small spectrum compared to what's been going on with some of this other stuff in the past. But it doesn't make him feel more comfortable with the idea. But he at least understands that some view it slightly differently than others.
I would like to. So, what Lizu did to Ramírez, how is that thought of within the Camarilla? Like, do people not care? Are they like, well, it's the past, all is fair and love and war? Like,
yeah, she has not done it yet, but Karsh has ordered it to
I
be
mean,
done.
like,
So
locking
at
him
some
away
point,
and stealing his things.
Very rude. Locking him in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I guess what you mean is what Lizu did in the way in the past.
Yeah. Like, are there people? How do people feel about her? Just as a general or overall, do people just not care, or is it like, well, that was a bit shitty? Or
Well,
Rude.
what people know, and I guess in Ramírez's time, Lizu used to be part of the Anarchs. But she was part of the force that helped Karsh retake the city from the New Promised Mandarinate. So it's something like, yeah, she used to be really like she used to be an enemy, but like for now, at least she seems to turn another leaf. So let's give her a chance. I guess that's sort of the general vibe around her.
I have, I think it's influence that's the one here. No, influence is with mortal, status is with the vampires. I have 3 in status. I would like to just spread some rumours. Not even rumours, just tell the truth. Just whisper it to the right people so that they will tell other people. And just kind of bring her standing down a little bit. With, maybe not with Karsh. Obviously she helped him out. But with a few people, just spread those little things within the group.
Are you suggesting a visit to Sebastian Melmont?
Well, I'm just doing it for whoever will listen to me because I'm pretty influential. But yes, I mean whoever will listen, basically. What I will do to help to try and at least do something to help Ramírez, because I really don't think there's a lot I can do in this situation.
Fair enough.
Then I will offer to Cole. I have quite a lot of influence within mortal communities as well. So if there's any business people or politicians or anyone that may be able to help with the chantry stuff or with Mizu, either or, if I can help an audience, get you to get a meeting with them, find out information from them, if there is anything I can do, that's kind of my thing, and I feel like it's not particularly useful in these situations, but if I can help, I will.
Okay, and so in order to spread rumors, it sort of might be more effective if you would go to some people, but I will allow you to roll a general roll, and in this case it would be manipulation plus your status dots. So I guess you have 3 status, so that plus your manipulation etiquette.
Okay.
Just to make it easier.
My status is so much better. What about politics? Can I interest you in politics? Or intimidation or leadership? Leadership would be good.
Sure, yeah, manipulation politics also works. Okay, 3 successes.
Yeah, 3, no
Yeah, you start spreading some of the rumors, and yeah, you'll see at some point later whether or not that might have done something.
Clarissa is nothing if not
But
a
I
high
will
school
make
bully from a teen
Oh.
drama.
I mean, overall, Cole, I mean, what's the thoughts now? I mean, we need to work on your problems first. I mean, 7 days and we've got to get this figured out for you. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. I know mine's an issue, but what's the plan? Where do we start?
Well, I have an idea, but as you say, time is short, but 7 nights should be more than enough. I was more thinking about your problem.
My problem is there. I mean, it's going to be an issue, but I mean, thanks to having a bit of a read, at least it looks like I have a bit of time. It's not a dramatic amount, but it's a little bit. But yours is maybe more pressing right now. So,
with respect, Cole, as our babysitter.
That is true. You are.
Without
you have got that time.
Yeah. Exactly. I take responsibility for you too.
Well, it would help if you're, dead.
I won't be dead. I have an escape plan just in case.
Okay, well, that's good news, I suppose. Are we allowed to be let in on that, or would that be too much?
Well,
if the plan B becomes the only plan, then yes, you will be made aware. However, I am relying on my own ability to be able to solve this mystery.
Fingers
I
crossed.
suppose the first question then is, how much do you honestly believe Darius is not involved in what happened? Is that what your gut's telling you, or do you think there's more to him?
My gut is telling me, but I also know him. He, even after the fall of the Chantry, he still claimed to be House Tremere. He was an advocate of the pyramid. He still wanted to be a part of everything. He doesn't seem the type to betray.
Well, that's good enough for me.
For all our sakes, Cole, I do hope you're right, but how do we prove it?
Well, it would require a visit to the old Chantry itself. I can perform a couple of rituals to actually see what happened. Go back. Not physically go back, but see what happened in the past. I can figure out what started the fire, where it began, and pinpoint who put things in motion. It'll take some time and require quite a lot of blood, but...
Kind of blood?
It's possible.
Random blood or our blood?
Because last time...
My blood.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've been down this road before. I'm guessing we've pulled that off before, so I'm sure we can do it again if we have to.
It has to be yours specifically, we can't help.
It has to be my eyes, my blood.
Okay.
Which means you're on guard duty.
Oh, wonderful, what I was born for.
I have no doubt. Ramírez, about your impending blood bond, I've been thinking. There is one thing that the Zemitsi are famous for.
It's not furniture, is it?
Possibly. How proficient are you with vicissitude, flesh crafting?
I know some of the principles, but not enough of the practice, unfortunately. I've been able to figure out how to manipulate myself more than I have others yet. That's why my art is
That's
nowhere
all
near
I was
as...
thinking of
Yeah.
manipulating. I know a thing or two about blood bonds. It was the whole foundation of our clan before Vienna fell.
Yeah, I've been reading about that.
It requires the blood to be absorbed into the system, and it's not a small amount either. This may sound grotesque, but can you fashion some pocket or container in your throat or perhaps under your tongue? Make the lining extra thick so it doesn't absorb into your system? I was thinking, and Li Zhu is about to give you a copious amount of her blood, willingly. That could be invaluable in taking her down. Take it, regurgitate it later. I know it sounds disgusting, but it'll save you being blood bonded, and we can use that to potentially take her down.
I'll have to have a think on that one. Yeah, there may be some skills that I could think along those times, but I'm going to assume it's going to be quite tough.
Are
So
you aware of any other Zimitzi in the city? Perhaps a sire?
I did it one time, but they've been gone a long time, and then I was locked in a box for too long. Or any sort of links I know of anyone are very, very far off, but it's not impossible that Arnold has had some communication with my sire. It's not impossible, but I would have to find out. It's not impossible, but it might not be probable.
Well, I was going to suggest if no one else, or you don't know of any others, Clarissa is about to have a meeting with a former Sabbat bishop. He will know of plenty of Zimitzi. Perhaps some off the books, off the record, in hiding somewhere in the city.
It would be interesting to meet someone of my ilk, if it's possible. Is it something that you could look into, Clarissa? Does
course.
it sound like something you could pull off?
I don't know Andrew well, but we're from the same clan. We both believe the same things, sort of, seemingly now, possibly. Offer me a meeting with him. I see no reason to not ask. I don't have to say exactly the reason I'm asking.
Well, thank you. If you can, that would be something. And yeah, maybe there is some skill I can work on to improve on that front. It's worth investigating anyway. But like I said, we may have a little bit of time. Not a lot, maybe a bit. Yours is more definite, though, Cole. We definitely have yours first, probably.
You definitely get the sense he's worried, but he's hiding it.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no. He knows him well enough to know that that's a thing on that front.
Good. So I'm going to say that was kind of your first night, and then we will sort of like go over like what your specific preparations are for like the coming months. Yes, and then we'll play out some of the interim stuff. I think Clarissa, your meeting was the day after this, or am I wrong?
I thought it was
it
a couple more days, a day or two. Yeah, I don't think it was the next day. I mean, if we want to do it the next day, then
sure, let's do that first. Okay, so Andrew Emery told you to meet him at one of his lectures that he regularly gives at San Francisco University, or San Francisco U, or whatever the correct abbreviation is, SFU probably, somewhere on the other side of town. Are the rest going with, or is this something Clarissa does on her own?
I mean, they'd be welcome to come with, but I also understand that if they're preoccupied.
Cole will stay behind, and he'll do the ritual preparations that I put in the chat. Yeah.
If Cole needs help, I will help on that. That sounds like more my thing than trying to chat in a crowd.
He would actually recommend you go to.
Ooh, okay. No problem. Then he will join you.
Yeah. So as you arrive, you see a fairly full lecture hall actually, and Andrew Emery like wheelchair bound as he is like in front of the room, just making like these grand political speeches about political ideology and the virtue of capitalism and things along those lines.
Bex hate him so much. Clarissa is listening so intently.
Yeah, and he after a while, like you arrive around 15 minutes before it's scheduled to end, and you notice like he goes like maybe 10-20 minutes over time.
Ramírez will be thrilled.
Meanwhile, I'm guessing you're waiting for things to finish up. Although afterwards you see like apparently some people are around and still like want to talk to him, but he sort of spots you near the back of the room and sort of like softly dismisses the people that are like trying to get to him, if that makes sense, before sort of beckoning you over.
We'll head right over, and I will kind of like, I imagine like softly hit Ramírez in the arm, as I imagine his mind has just been wandering and he has not been paying attention.
No, it's like he really loves the sound of his own voice.
Yes, but we don't say that to him too loudly. I'll walk over smiling.
Puts on an awkward smile.
That's really good. Well done. Okay. Andrew, how lovely to see you. I hope you don't mind. I brought my friend Ramírez. He's not politically inclined.
Yes, okay.
However, he has a longing for clanship, which he doesn't really have anywhere else.
That much is true.
Pleased to meet you. And you, did I hear it correctly that you were of that Semitsi?
I am. I'm guessing I'm one of the few. I've not seen many of my kind around these days, but yes.
In San Francisco, I'm guessing you are the only one.
That I know of, yeah.
Although I have had the dubious pleasure of working with your clan before.
Oh, I bet. He carries on awkwardly smiling.
I believe Ramírez is the only one in San Francisco. However, quite sad state of affairs. No clansman that's kin around here.
Well, you can't blame them too much. After all, a La Sombra hanging out with its Semitsi, people might start talking about insurrection and the second coming of the Sabbat and things like that.
Ash put us together, so no complaints.
Yes, I heard about that. Mr. Cole not with you tonight?
No, he is working on something that's he's got rather a deadline on, unfortunately. Our babysitter. We are babysitter free tonight.
One of our clan doesn't need a babysitter, right?
Well, I certainly didn't think so. Luckily, I've grown to quite like Cole. However, at the beginning, it was really rather humiliating.
Well, what I appreciate about us, about our clan, is our ability to get stuff done, wouldn't you?
Oh, quite. Termination.
One would say that is a pretty good property to have in someone like a prince, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I completely agree. So I just Andrew roll his eyes.
You're not even there.
Very
Sorry.
fair. Very fair. I am rolling my eyes internally. Clarissa's rolling her eyes internally. However, absolutely agree, Andrew.
Well, unfortunately, as you know, we are facing a little bit of an uphill battle. With us being, while we are accepted, we are still seen as outsiders, as newcomers.
It's the babysitter.
Children, even though we probably have more guts than any of the half-baked soft Camarilla clans.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't. Am I right? No one else has to go through what we have to go through to get to this stage.
Exactly. However, in order to get this, we will need allies. We will need friends.
I agree. What are your thoughts on where to find them?
Well, that is a thing, isn't it? With Karsh's coming and his, let's say, unusually strict embrace rules, the kindred of San Francisco have grown weak. We are not numerous enough to to resist any sort of interlopers coming either from the Anarch side or a resurgence of the New Promised Mandarinates. If Karsh were to leave, what we need is new blood, new kindred to come within the city and to join our fold and to join our cause.
Wilder had a similar idea, though. I do enjoy the idea of bolstering the Sombra numbers specifically.
Well, the idea of having more La Sombra allies, I'm not talking about embracing, in case that was what you were wondering. I'm talking about vampires with experience. Neonates are nice and all, but they take a while to ripen, and in the meantime they are more of a liability than an asset.
That's very true.
I'm more talking about other factions and groups around that have so far refused to join. I have heard of several groups in the North Bay, for example, that might be suited to this.
Interesting. Are these people you've met before?
Not personally, no.
Okay.
Although I've heard some of them are quite formidable.
Formidable in what sense? I'm formidable in certain ways, and not so formidable in others.
Well, have you ever heard of the Courts of Love?
I haven't.
Well, the European Camarilla has ruled over Europe for centuries. Their main power strengths are, it's basically located around 3 main cities. Being Berlin, which fell, London, which fell, and France, who are, at the moment, mostly in hiding. Now, as it so happens, just before the Courts of Love, the Courts of France fell, some of their harpies took a vacation here, up in the wine country, up north. Apparently they are very old, very powerful. They can make formidable allies and very dangerous enemies, both socially as physically.
Interesting. Why have they not approached Camarilla here?
I assume because they have no interest.
Okay.
However, goading them over to our side, that might be something to look at.
Change in leadership could sway them.
Change in leadership, maybe. But they are Toreador, they are fickle, they are haughty, they are very specific, and, well, to be honest, I do not have the stomach of dealing with them myself. Not unless it is absolutely necessary. Not to mention that I have too much important things to do here.
That's fair. My concern is that Sebastian may possibly be looking at Princeton as well, though I believe he wasn't decided, so maybe he can be dissuaded.
Sebastian Malmot is a fine man, I suppose. Although a bit style over substance for my taste.
That's fair. It's a fair assessment.
Ramírez is nodding as well at that point.
Okay, well, here is my offer to you. I know you have been eyeing power of yourself as well.
I'm the right person for it.
Gather support behind me. Doesn't have to be the Storidor, can be other factions as well. Although I would say they make an interesting possibility within the next year until Karsh leaves. And we'll see what political positions are in your future. After all, when I am gone, the La Sombra will need a new primogen.
That sounds like right up my kind of street, Andrew. That's a challenge I look forward to. Thank you for your meeting. And thank you for the lecture. I caught the tail end of it, and it was very interesting.
Oh, really? Which part did you like best?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I have to torture you this way. It's
so painful for me, Bex, to say it. I really loved when you talked about the benefits of capitalism. That was absolutely 100% agree. Oh, I need to make myself throw up.
It's too much for Beck.
Of course, it is the way people, humans, animals have evolved over time to take it best. It is the modern day philosophy of survival of the fittest put into action. It is the way we were supposed to be, of course.
I don't understand people that don't agree with that. It baffles me. Anyway, Thank you. So, no Tsumitsuki in the city for my friend Ramírez to bond with. You're aware of?
Not that I am aware of. I've heard of some Tsumitsi somewhere across the bay, but they are anarchs, as their clan defected to them.
That's distasteful. Sorry, Ramírez. Looks like we're still on the hunt for some phantom for you.
Very, very distasteful. Yes, yes.
Andrew, thank you so much for your time. I have things to do.
It's a pleasure, Miss King.
Hopefully this is the first of many meetings.
Of course. Oh, and he sort of like beckons you to come closer.
I will.
I will suggest you keep your promise, Miss King. Give your father my regards.
Of course. No, that bastard. Thank you, Andrew. I'll see you soon.
And see. Okay.
Oh no!
Dun dun dun.
That's not good.
What did you do? What did you do?
Spoilers, Drew. Spoilers.
It's too late. We're on this road now. Mine's a long-term problem. We'll deal with it later.
That's a future us problem if we survive.
You literally have a year until the change of power happens. The scheduled change of power, anyway.
That's cool. Dad might be dead by then.
Yeah, that'll probably be season 5 or 6 or something, depending on the. It's gonna be a while before we get to that point. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
What sort of preparations are you making, Cole?
I need to feed because this is going to require a lot of blood. So I need to perform one with the blade, and I need maybe a couple of vials of clinging of the insect.
Okay. Can you remind me of your predator type, and is this the way you are hunting?
Yes. So I am a bounty hunter. I go to, bail bondsmen, essentially hunt down criminals who have failed to pay their bounty, their bail. I will hunt them down, feed on them, hand them over, and that's also how I make money. So.
Okay. So is this the way you go about feeding? Because this is quite a time-consuming way, of course.
That is true.
I mean, we're playing sort of fast and loose with time.
Yeah.
It's like getting a bounty, hunting someone down. Like
that is
a night, if not more.
Yeah, that is time consuming. Okay, he'll probably just go to like Tenderloin and wait around for criminal activity to happen, and then he'll just stalk. He'll be more of an alley cat for the next few nights because he needs to be quick.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to ask you to roll me a predator pool roll, but for alley cat, which is strike plus brawl or wits plus streetwise.
Wits plus streetwise, please. Double clicked. The first one was a messy critical for 7 successes.
Yeah, a messy critical. Well, someone's dying there. Yeah, I'm going to say you find some criminal activity indeed. You find actually a group of like 2 people brutally robbing an old lady.
Don't make me kill the old lady, please.
You manage to sort of get them away from her and guide them down the alley. What happened then was for you sort of like a rush of red, and the next thing you know is you standing over 2 dead bodies and your hunger fully sated, I guess.
Oh no, now I have to clean up. Oh shit, okay. I actually can't be fully sated from human blood, so I'll still be at hunger 1.
Right. Yeah, hunger 1 then. Yeah, right, because you're a thing, yeah.
I am a thing, yes. Oh man, okay. He's gonna make it look like a crime gone wrong. He's just gonna try and fake the crime scene. I mean, he's seen enough of them to make it look convincing.
Quick.
Okay, what role would this be?
Yeah, I'll make it look like one fell on a dumpster and just slash
happens
the
all the
throat
time.
out. I know, it's such a common occurrence. These mortals, so clumsy.
Why do they make dumpsters with like knives at the end of it? Like it
It's a
literally
Horrible,
weird
horrible
choice,
blades,
San
yes, yeah.
Francisco. So weird.
Okay, so you sort of like try to stage a crime scene as if this was an accident or
like a drug deal gone wrong or something. Like,
yeah.
Knife fight that went wrong, yeah. Or something.
yeah.
What would this be? This would be wits larceny, maybe.
I have. So I have a specialty in crime scenes. Can I use that?
Yeah.
Oh God!
My God, he totally should, yeah.
What a thing to say. I have a specialty in crime scenes.
He's a detective. Oh, no, 2 successes. Oh.
Roll well.
I'm gonna re-roll those 3 dice.
Yes, do it.
1, 2, 3, re-roll. Okay.
Okay.
3 successes.
Okay, I am making a note of this, and then we will see if this comes back to
Oh,
bite
I
you
love it that
later.
you said that twice already this session. Great.
Yeah,
The GM will remember this.
do have notes.
The
Written
puns are
on the
there.
back of an envelope, which I am most definitely going to lose at
Fingers
some
crossed.
point.
That's fine. That is perfectly fine. So yeah, Fed, he'll go back to the Haven and he'll just do those rituals. So he just needs. This is just a prep night. He needs those things for.
Okay, I will ask you to, in case you're because you're prepping them, I will ask you to make the rolls.
Yes.
Associated with these. I think it's 1 rouse per ritual, although the rules are a little bit vague in my mind. Let me double check.
Yes. So clinging to the insects. I need to find spiders. I'm sure we have plenty of spiders in our haven.
There's literally a labyrinth behind the
Yeah.
place with stuff, I'm sure.
I
it's
mean, we
fine.
live in a multi-story car park. It's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be there.
Okay, so I need to make a ritual roll for this one. Remind me what the ritual roll is.
Intelligence plus blood sorcery, and the difficulty is the ritual level +1.
Okay, so this is just a 1, so the difficulty is 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clinging of the insect is good, so I'll have that for the next evening.
Oh, and I think
then-
you also need to make a rouse check. Unless otherwise noted, performing a ritual requires a rouse check 5 minutes per level to cast and a winning intelligence plus blood sorcery test.
Okay, so I'll do the rouse check now.
I think all rituals, except if it specifically mentions.
Okay, so I get hungrier. Wonderful. And then the next one will be 1 with the blade. So this requires quite a lot of blood. So shall I do like 2 rouse checks?
For 1 with the blade.
Yeah, it doesn't specifically say, but it says it needs to be fully submerged. So that is at least a couple of liters, I think.
Let me double check what levels 1 with the blood, because I don't.
3.
Yeah, sure. Two rouse checks will do it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tris.
Oh, okay. Dice on your side.
And then I'll do the ritual roll, which is intelligence plus blood sorcery. Ooh, can I use my book? That gives me a bonus. That gives me a +1 bonus.
Yes, you can. You get a +1 bonus on all ritual checks, right? That was the thing. Because
When
because this is the spell book of the Tribute Chantry. Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Okay, yeah, 5 successes. That's enough. I think you needed 4 for level 3. So
I'm going to be risky, and I'm going to re-roll those
so
other 2
brave.
dice. I want to see if I get a crit.
Ooh.
That was sad.
Oh.
Operation. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Sweet. So yeah, that's all I needed to do, really. Just have those prepared for the next evening.
Okay. So you guys go to your respective rooms, I'm guessing, the following morning. And then when evening comes back around, You wake up and you find a strange figure back in your haven.
What?
Who did lock the door?
God.
As Gregory is once again chilling on the couch, a couch which you probably replaced since last time.
He's hurt.
Is he clothed?
This time he is
now?
clothed, although
Oh my
his
God.
clothes look very filthy.
For now, he's clothed, Cole.
I do miss that sofa already.
Oh, don't get used to this one.
It's older than you are.
Oh, hello guys. How are you
Why are you
doing?
here?
Oh, it was just looking for
What's-
a place to crash.
What's wrong?
This was
What's wrong
nice
with
last
your
time.
place?
Oh, man. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery.
How long do you need the change of scenery for?
Oh, I don't know, man. What until like the wanderlust, until it's sated, man. Come on, be cool.
Do you go to any
Yeah,
other havens?
just I don't want to be rude, but don't you have any other friends that you want to hang out with? Don't have a week before you get murdered completely. Well, there's a lot going on.
I mean, I have other places, man, but they're all so empty. Like, at least here, like, you guys got, like, cute little, like, community going. Like, it's nice. Like, communal living, I'm all about that shit.
Do you have any in Chinatown?
What? No, I wouldn't dare set foot in there. Like, have you even met that bitch? Like, she's crazy.
We've had the displeasure, yes. Just a thought.
I mean, no love lost between me and her, but like honestly, man, like I'd rather not deal with her if I can help it.
I don't think where we can use him.
I don't mean to generalize, but you're Bruja, right?
Yeah, what's it to you, man?
Is he trying to start a fight with you in our
I will pop him with my brain if I have to.
Ramírez is just standing in shock
yes.
that another sofa is now being tainted
I
at
like-
this point. Yeah.
I imagine he's already
in
there
my
with the
head,
bleach
Ramírez
spray.
is already
like-
cleaning. Like he's completely not.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, there's literally when you guys walked out and saw him, I was
Like,
already cleaning
Ramírez
around
goes for
him
the
as this was
marigolds,
going on. Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah.
the little yellow gloves and like a little flowery pinny. Oh,
God.
The like old suit. Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
The old tweed with the
Yeah.
with the marigolds on. Yes, this is so every time everything he's touched has been cleaned up to the point
That's
where.
equally cute
like it.
and sinister.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he stays on the sofa, it's fine. It's fine. We can handle this. We can handle this.
It's fine. We'll get the locks changed at some point. I was more thinking off the books, of course. Do you have any Anarch contacts?
I look at Cole.
Because she's a former Anarch.
Well, I mean, I used to hang around with a lot of those guys, back in the 60s when things were all good in the Heights, when we all used to, like smoke together and have fun. Darius, the guy that's about to get killed, like he was.
We're
there too.
saving him. We're saving him.
Like a lot of those guys got driven out, but I'm persistent, like a stain. Like you can't get rid of me.
Clarissa.
Just glances at Ramírez when he says it's like a stain.
Yeah, it's like He's just like, oh my god, this may be
Ramírez
a
is
thing
scrubbing
now.
harder with the bleach.
Yeah.
I imagine he's just scrubbing him with bleach. Like,
No, I'm not going quite that far, but I've certainly everything around him has been dealt with as that's going on. Gregory, you didn't ever run into like my kind, did you back then? Like Samitsi, or is that too much
Quite
to think?
like old people. No.
we're all old.
Like my
Yeah.
clan, Gregory, my clan. Focus.
Tsamitsi, let me think.
I heard there might be some in the out there as Anarchs for now, but I didn't know if
Oh,
that might be any that you remember from the back in the day.
Well, the Anarchs used to be part of the Sabbat, man, like the big evil death cults, bad guys. Like those were bad news, man. Like honestly, I remember you from back in the day, but apart from that, like memories hazy, man. I don't really remember anyone specifically. Like if they joined up now, it's probably because the Sabbat fell apart and they their young ones just try to start a new life within the movement. It's been done before.
Yeah.
Not that I'm advocating for anarchy or anarchy.
You know what? That is a good point. You just feel like you would be more into that.
I mean, why, man? All the anarchs do is like, oh, you're like, you have a big head and this is mine, and at least the Camarilla has some rules, man. At least the Camarilla has some sort of structure, some sort of semblance of peace, even though it's mired with political intrigue and things.
You know what? That really makes sense
really
to me,
wise,
Gregory.
oddly.
Thank you.
And here he craves structure. I think we should get him some discipline. I think he'd be into it.
Oh, I am a chaotic element within a structured system. It is necessary sometimes to have a little bit of a shake-up,
You're here to provide that.
but not enough to topple the whole thing.
Absolutely. Clarissa shaking her head.
Well, as long as you're confined chaos, it's fine. It's absolutely fine as long as you're confined to
Yeah,
the sofa.
confined within our haven, not ideal. If you
Confined.
have to be confined within our haven, let's have you confined within one space of our haven.
Yes, this is now yours.
No?
This whole place, man.
No, the sofa, the sofa. Focus,
I
Gregory,
need
focus.
you to stay with me, Gregory.
Well,
When you come here, this is yours. Yes.
thanks, guys. I knew I was right about you. We could be one little commune, Do it like the olden days.
You and I remember the 60s very differently.
Do you have any Anarch contacts, though, Gregory?
That was the original
I'll
question.
sidetrack my memory lane.
I mean,
Or black off in this case.
I knew some of the guys from the Commerce of Sorrows back in the days, but they're kind of big shots now in the movement. They used to they were the ones that sort of coordinated with Prince Fedofhar back in the day to get their own place on the other side of the thing. Apparently they're big shots, but I didn't really feel like going. I was having fun in the heights.
The Anarchs have some structure then. I didn't realise that. I thought it was just pure chaos.
Funnily enough, it's exactly the same feudal system that we have. They just call it a different name.
Useless.
It's all, we're all living the same cursed existence, honestly. But still, I prefer it here. It's a little bit more quiet and less violent than your typical anarchs.
I agree. It has at least has order. Yeah, it has some order at least.
Do you still happen to have contact with the Congress of Sorrows?
Not regularly, although I could probably put out some feelers.
Maybe next time they're around, or you happen to pass them by, let them know that any information on Liju would be well received.
If it happens, man, I'll do my best.
I'm sure you will.
Could be a favor for a favor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess it's right. I guess we're best friends now. Yeah, you're completely correct.
He's not going to help you.
It's not going to help the cause, no.
Okay, man.
Well, Gregory, it's been a pleasure. Please lock the door if you do decide to leave. If you don't leave, don't go into
And
any of
don't
our
drink all
rooms.
of the blood in the fridge. I beg of you, please.
Sure.
And
No,
if I invite some
absolutely
people
not.
over to,
No,
have a little
Categorically
party.
no on that one, I'm afraid, Gregory. It's a very tricky time for us. We need concentration and security.
I'm afraid this haven is warded against others. Only people we allow, such as yourself, can actually enter this place.
Oh God.
You're privileged, Gregory.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay, allow me to make a quick phone call then, because otherwise I might be in some trouble.
You might be clearing up a lot of ash.
Okay.
Oh.
Let me take care of this. And like he kind of like goes out like through the front door and sort of seems to get like an old like flip phone out and tries like starting to make a call to someone like somewhere in the party structure where he has actual reception. Which
Second he
wouldn't be the
goes,
case.
I'm like, tend to comment. How do we change locks? Can we change them right now? He won't be able to come back in. I don't want him to get turned to ash. But can we change the locks?
I mean, he's Bruja. If he really wanted to get in, he could probably just walk through the door.
He doesn't know that.
And he might, unfortunately, he might be useful now. That's the problem we have. I mean, I've got to try and find
Potentially.
contact with
He better be useful.
for possibilities of finding out things. It's tough right now, but he may be useful, and we just have to keep an eye out wherever he goes or does. Or
What are you hoping to find out, Cole?
It's fine. Oh, absolutely nothing. I just want them to know that she's here.
Excellent. That's a great idea.
Sorry, I'm making a note.
Fair enough.
This is where we accidentally start a war. Don't worry, this place has a lot of security. He'll just point like there's cameras there.
Yes, I know. He keeps
There.
getting in.
There.
There was enough going into this haven. Yeah, there was enough points in this thing.
If he brings
We need
anyone
to,
back, we'll know
we need
about
to
it.
keep buying bleach if he keeps coming here. We're gonna really up the budget for cleaning supplies.
I'll have Arnold work on it.
We'll send him to the store.
You can take the good credit card.
Oh, the black card.
The no limit card, yeah.
So what's the plan for the rest of the night?
What do we need to do, Cole? Are we heading to the chantry today?
Yes.
Are your preparations complete, I guess? Yes.
Most, yes. Some will have to be done there, but yes. I am still not entirely unconvinced that place is wholly abandoned. It may still be under watch. It is a former Tremere chantry, of course.
Were you there when things went down back then, or
I was. I was there when it burned. Well, for a long time, I thought I was the only one that survived, but with Darius's resurgence, turns out I'm not.
He didn't have any information, did he?
No, but his story was very similar to mine. We frenzied and ran.
Oh.
because of the fire?
He ended up in the Bay Area. I ended up further down North Beach. It's a bit of a blur.
It is a bit of a blur.
Maybe it's time we try and move things
Relive the
forward.
whole
It's been long
evening.
enough.
Well, that
Yes.
sounds like a fun evening. We should head off. If we come back and he's having a party, I swear to God.
Okay, so you head off towards the old chantry.
This is very grand for above the fish shop that you sent me earlier.
Well, yeah, but it was like because these were like this was like one building which at the ground floor housed like several sort of shops. But, like the upper floor was like one big like large sort of like 2-story large like apartment sort of complex thingy, and that was like refitted into the chantry.
So yeah, we'll make our way there. I'm guessing it's still dilapidated.
4 years and they've barely done anything with the place.
So this place burned badly. Like basically all that was left was like some walls, but like everything was like completely like burned away. A lot of the roofs collapsed, and it was basically like shut off in like how do you say like metal structures that are put against
Scaffolding.
like basically like wrapped in scaffolding for the past 4 years, boarded up completely, and as far as you know, no actual work has been done to try to like restore the place to like what it was before or to give it a new purpose. Basically it's just like a husk of a building supported by scaffolding where basically no one really has done any efforts to like try to rebuild it.
Perfect. So yeah, I guess we get there and we'll try and get through the the gated area that's obviously surrounding it if it's got scaffolding all around.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, let's say wits plus larceny to see which way might be like the easiest way to get in.
Who wants to do this?
I
Or
mean, I
can
can
have
definitely help. I don't think that I've got 3 in wits. No, I've got nothing in
You have
larceny.
3 in larceny?
Yeah, I'd say nothing in larceny, my end.
Okay, so no one can help. Okay, I am wits and larceny.
Okay.
Okay.
Not too bad, not too bad. From where you are, you can see basically 2 ways in. One is to basically force open like the panels to where there used to be, like as you said, like some sort of like liquor store or fish shop sort of thing there. These are completely different concepts, but in my mind they work together somehow.
It's San Francisco, why not?
Fusion food.
Yeah, so it's possible to force your way into like one of there, like rip one of the panels off to where the door once was and make your way up there. Or you might be able to climb the scaffolding and climb in through like one of the windows, like one of the single windows that has remained uncovered. But it's like way up on like the top floor, so it might take some like climbing.
Or perhaps the ability to spider climb. It's as if someone prepared for this.
What's the area like? Is it busy or is it quiet?
Oh, this is in the middle of the city, in, I would say, a fairly high traffic neighborhood.
Yeah, it was like central North Beach, right? So
Yeah,
like,
it's
a very busy area.
like even at night, it's probably still has like quite a lot of traffic.
Sorry, Seb. I have a skill where I've basically got body of mist. So is there some way I could like make my way in and then unlock from the inside, if that makes sense? If I was to be able to sort of make myself sort of push through some of the gaps and make my way in and then unlock from the inside for them?
Yeah,
or something
I think
along that
that's
line?
basically exactly what Body of Mist is used for. It's to like get through small spaces, basically.
So maybe there's a small gap in the sides of the door. Then I'm like, well, if you wait here for a moment, I could probably
Yes, please.
deal with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can like, what's it, like T2, the T...
Yeah, like Terminator 2, like the T1000 sort of like.
You can like sort of morph in through like changing parts of your body into mist. Yeah, you totally do that. Yeah, I think you might need a rouse check.
That's rouse. So it made me do the rouse. Okay.
Can't let you guys know enough how much Clarissa is not dressed for what we're doing. She is in like heels. She's got like high-waisted like but suit trousers. Like she's full 80s right now. Not for this at all.
And well, yeah, and Ramírez in his tweed. I'm sure it's like perfect thing for that one as well. So I in theory, obviously I've had to do the rouse check. I don't know why it made me do 2, but I had to do a rouse check, and then it gives me a 2 dice bonus to whatever I need to roll, Seb, for making this do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you activate the power. You can just like do it. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
like
you keep it.
through.
The duration is for one scene, so yeah, that's fair enough. So what role do you like me to squeeze through the or anything like that? What do you need?
Okay, let's say dexterity athletics, maybe? Would that fit, you think?
I'll give it a go. Okay, let's see how he's gonna do. 2. I can re-roll,
I think you can find a place where you can sort of squeeze through and gain access without being noticed too much. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just watch him sort of like transform his limbs, and then sort of slowly but surely he seeps through the gaps in the wall by the door. An impossibly small space that he suddenly manages to fit through, and then there's a click as something undoes from the other side, and he just looks normal by that point on the other side.
Impressive.
Well, that was new.
It's been a while. I've not done that one for a while. This is what I'm wondering if I might be able to work on to try and get rid of some of the problems with the blood blonde stuff, but we'll see. But anyway, yes, entrance has been made. We're onwards for your thing, Cole.
Yeah, on the inside, you sort of like force open a panel, so it's like not quite as obvious that someone's breaking in, and you can make your you can open a space for the other two. Yeah.
Do I have like a rough idea of where the fire originated in the Chantry?
In your memory, it originated within not the library itself, but like an adjacent room to the library.
So I guess I'll try and navigate as best I can to that space. If it suddenly becomes a case of, that space no longer exists, he will use the vial of blood with hanging of the insect in it. He'll drink and then just start spider shimmying up the wall.
Certain floors have collapsed, but like there's like still enough of it left so that you might be able to make your way over. Like without using it, it would be safer if you did use it, but it's not strictly necessary. I will, however, ask you to roll just to make sure to get over there. Everyone that's planning on making it over to that room.
What would you like me to roll?
This would be definitely dexterity. Is it again dexterity athletics? I'm guessing it will be.
What is it? We're making a jump,
dexterity athletics. Yeah, you're sort of, because this is a very rickety old building, which basically has been burned down. It's basically making your way over to the room where Cole wants to use his ritual ability without basically you causing any further like collapses, without you falling to potential harm or death. Things along those.
Okay, my jump's probably not going to help.
If I'm like physically sticking to the walls, do I need to make this roll?
If you use clay of the insect, you will not need to make this roll.
I'm definitely using it. Even if I use it just
I'm
to stick
guessing
to
that
the
like
floor.
sword and leaf isn't really going to help with this because then I'm going to make a bit of like a impact when I land, and that could be dangerous. So
Just that's how
Do
we
you know
die. The
what,
building
Cole?
collapses on top
I'll
of
wait
us.
here.
I was like, and you done.
If you need me, I will come over.
So, who is doing what?
I'll join you in theory if need be.
Yeah. Do you guys want to keep watch just in case? And then I'll get as close as I can to the point Cole believes the fire originated, and then he'll perform Eyes of the Past.
Yeah, I'll try and take a high point, Seb, to keep a watch from somewhere that makes sense. If that makes sense, get a bit more of an overall view than just be on the ground, if I can.
How long does your misty form last? Is it a full scene?
My misty form lasts for one whole scene. So yeah, there's plenty of me being able to zip through gaps and things like that to make on that front. That's certainly a thing. But what if you need anything else above that? Let me know.
Yeah, I think you also have weight of the feather, right?
Correct. Yeah, I have weight of feather, so if I did fall, I would not have much problem.
Yeah, so I will say, roll Dex Athletics, but you can add your like protein level to it, just because like you have you're weirdly light on your feet apparently.
So Dex plus the modifier of 2 for protein. Okay, let's see. Ooh, all over the place.
Yeah, you can get up to like a place on the first floor where you think, you basically have like a good overlook on like most of the ground floor because there are holes in the floor everywhere basically.
Yeah, and hopefully at least be at a spot where Cole is in relation. But yeah, he's just looking for a point that makes sense to be able to keep them in view and see what's going on. So
yeah, Cole's at the moment on the top floor because it's like a 3-story building. You're on the first, he's on the second.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I'm looking up, would see there's stuff above, and obviously, Clarissa is on the ground, and then being able to look out, he's in a reasonable perched watch spot, if that makes sense.
I will keep an eye out, and if I do hear anyone coming, if it looks like it's going to be hit and miss whether I'll be able to get away or not, I will use Shadow Cloak, just kind of blend in and hopefully then get a little bit of advantage on stealth rolls if needed.
Very useful while you're wearing heels.
Running would be tricky. Better hide.
But you'd make no noise.
Very well practiced. She's been wearing them for a long, long time.
So no clicky clack. Since the 80s. Okay, so yeah, I'll make my way up to that spot and I will do the ritual. So I'll get as close as I can. I have to sort of cut my hand and allow 4 drops of blood, as it happened 4 years ago, hit the space. I need to make a rouse check. And then, yeah, it's as if time rewinds and the building itself rebuilds around me, and I can shift through this point up to exactly when I imagine I have like a rough idea of when this started.
Yeah, we can go into that in a moment. Okay, so Cole.
Oh, I need to make my ritual roll.
Yes.
Oh God.
And your rouse check.
I did the rouse check.
Okay.
And it was a success, thankfully. Oh no, it wasn't. I got hungrier. Oh, okay. Yeah. Boo. 4 successes.
Pretty good.
What's the ritual level of Eyes of the Past? Level 3, right?
Yes, it's level 3.
Yep, then that's just enough. So as you perform the ritual, as you said, the building almost reconstitutes around you. Like it's as if you're turning back the time to the place you to the time you designated, to that one horrible evening in your past, a couple of years ago, which might be a relatively small time for you as a vampire, but it at this point seems like ages ago, since so much happened since then. And suddenly you're almost back in this place that you once called home. But things are different than you remember. This used to be a ritual room, and as far as you knew, this place was empty at the time of the fire. At least no one knew was there. Everyone kind of assumed the anarchs broke in here, infiltrated the chantry, made their way up here somehow, and started to fire. What you see around here, don't really see anarchs here. As you look around, you see ritual implements, like strewn across the room, and you see bodies, vampires, friends, just laid out on the floor with what looks like wooden stakes sticking out of their chests. There's no fire, not yet anyway. As you look through the bodies, you recognize them all. These were your friends, your colleagues. You recognize your sire. You recognize, well, basically everybody. And the last body you look at fills you with dread inside as you recognize your own face.
Oh no.
Like a hastily carved out stake slammed through your chest. Then, from another room, 2 figures emerge. One, the first one, you recognize, Darius. His face covered with blood, but not from splatter or anything, but like he has been crying. But as you're vampires, all the liquid in your body has been replaced with blood. The way he moves is unnatural, almost as if someone is puppeteering him. The second figure speaks. Have him do it quick. It needs to be fast. Tremere need to be reborn.
Is this someone I can see, or is it a voice I recognize?
Oh, you definitely recognize this voice. It is a voice you know very well, intimately well. And while you don't quite see him, it is unmistakable that the voice belongs to one Maximilian Strauss.
Okay. Well, I'm dead, guys.
Oh, no.
It's nice knowing you. Oh, shit.
You see the second figure taking your body and throwing it over his shoulder, or somehow, or maybe he's like conjuring something to take you with him. I'm not sure, but he is taking you with him. Just make sure they all die. I will take care of this one. And the figure who you recognize as having the voice of Strauss, but he's like clothed in like a hood, and you don't quite like see his face, but his voice is unmistakable.
Is it his signature red?
It's not red, no. It's a black cloak.
Strauss, or from what Cole knows, Strauss left for LA. How long before this happened?
So he left in 2005 for LaCroix.
Oh, so it was considerably. There was like a decade plus.
Yeah, that's a long time before.
Yeah.
And then he sort of made some appearances over the years since, but never really assumed like a big role again since then. And then since I'm guessing, I guess it'll be around 2018. Yeah, just before Garsh's coming, that he was like involved in all of that. But he didn't like have a set place in San Francisco since 2005.
Okay. Can I move about this space? I just want to guarantee it's him before I point a finger and potentially lose my head. Cole will try and move around the space as best he can to get as best a look as he can. He's in disbelief that this is Strauss at the moment. He thinks it's some kind of imposter.
Roll me wits investigation, please.
Can I use my heightened senses?
Yeah, sure.
Wits investigation. This is my best roll. It better be good.
Too much going on.
Critical success?
Yeah, critical success. That's pretty good. Yeah, what specifically do you want to see? Or what specifically are you looking at?
I want to get as close as I can to this figure. I want to see a face. I want to get behind that hood.
You want to be convinced whether it is Strauss or not, I suppose, isn't it?
Definitive proof. Do I see little red sunglasses?
As you look under the hood, you do not see someone that looks like Strauss. You do see someone that's like big and burly, but there's something odd going on with his eyes. They're like glossy, glassed over, as if, there's something going on there.
So this puppet master is a puppet for someone else, so it could still be Strauss. Do I recognize this big burly person?
I'm going to say you have never seen this guy before.
Part of me was hoping it would be Gregory, but
What a twist that
alas.
would have been. He's the main
betrayal.
It's him.
Okay. Oh, this changes my plans so much. Oh God.
He did speak with the voice of Strauss.
Yeah.
Do you recognise the voice? Oh no, you didn't hear the voice.
It was Strauss's voice, so there could be some blood sorcery afoot. Okay, I guess he'll witness the rest of what Darius is being made to do, but he can't go beyond this room. It only goes a certain distance. This ritual, so
Yeah, and as you have heightened senses on you, the smell of gasoline immediately becomes apparent as Darius, with very stocky movements, is slowly pouring it over the staked bodies of your colleagues and friends.
and I guess I'll end it as soon as I see a match being lit or something. Because I don't want a frenzy right now. That would be very bad.
That would probably be bad, yes. Okay. And I'm gonna say that is where your eyes of the past end. And
I will gather the coterie, and this is probably the first time you've seen Cole worried.
Yeah, we haven't seen that
any
look on your
attempt to
face.
hide it is
What happened?
gone.
Cole? What?
just one thing. Roll me a quick intelligence insight, I guess. Is that a thing?
Yeah? Intelligence
That's a lot
insight?
of dice, yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of dice. I'm sorry, why is it rolling twice? So the first one is...
rolled twice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one success.
Okay, never mind then. Go ahead.
As much as I was expecting something I wasn't quite
You
expecting.
know who it was?
I did see. I have an idea.
Idea we can run with.
You look like you've
But
seen
I-
a ghost.
It requires further investigation, but I need more answers
How do we get you those?
from this individual. I know exactly where this person is,
Now?
but it could be potentially fatal for anyone who knows. So,
Well, that's not
Yeah.
ominous.
We're already dealing with potentially fatal, or worse. Gesture.
That's true. Yeah, we're kind of in we're kind of in those areas anyway. Cole. One, yeah. What happens to one happens to all.
well, if I let you know, there's no turning back.
Well, yeah.
I'm not
Let's
turning
just do
back.
Sorry, what?
Strauss.
What was that about turning back?
yeah, Ramírez sort of wheels. Yeah, Ramírez wheels round for a moment. Oh God.
Excellent.
And I know where he is at the moment. He's back in the old chantry, the one before this. It's underneath Coit Tower.
Okay. And you want to confront him, Cole?
I need answers.
You know what? What a good
Dead
point.
either way.
That's
Directions.
a fair point.
That's... Oh.
Well,
Hmm.
in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess.
You're welcome to run now.
Good without you, aren't we, really? So might as well get on with it.
No.
Onward to Strauss, then. And I guess
Let's
we
go.
leave.
Okay.
Which weirdly isn't too far away from here, because this is North Beach, right?
It's around that area. Yeah. It's not that far. It's like the reason why the old, well, not this chantry, but chantry before that was abandoned is because the
Became too touristy, didn't it?
what? Sorry.
It became
Yeah.
too touristy.
It got too touristy, and it was too difficult
Gentrification.
to keep up the wards to keep the tourists out. Basically.
Yeah. We got priced out of the
Never
area.
happened to us.
So yeah, I guess our next stop is there.
So you lead them to there, and you take the old entrance.
Oh. Oh.
Which is down a sewer grate, by the way,
Not
sorry.
Yeah, you remove the sewer grate, and after some squeezing through some narrow passages, it opens up to a wider.
While we're navigating this space, I'll say to the others, make sure you stay close. This place isn't the most natural of constructions.
Oh,
If you lose your
God.
way, you could get lost in here.
What
for
kind of
an
situation are
eternity.
we expecting down here? Just him?
I imagine just him. This place has been abandoned
How do you know
for
he's here?
a very long time. 'Cause he told me.
Clarissa looks taken aback, but, well, we'll just... be like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of like he wanted you to know. Okay.
I'm not going to push that further.
Wait, he was the one that gave me this quest in the first place. What is his end game? Ah!
What, maybe...
I'm loving this.
He's leaving you here to kill you.
I-
Who knows?
I guess, yeah, I'll lead them to the correct spot, avoiding all the wards, and perform the little bit of blood sorcery that's needed to get in.
So you come to this big, like, vault-like door. This is warded in all kinds of ways, but you know how to sort of circumvent it and get it to open. Some of the wards are freshly added, let's say, by someone of considerable skill. And as you open it, it leads into another space, which basically, like, it's a wide space leading to what basically looks like an underground sort of laboratory kind of space, where Strauss, clad in his signature red robes and red half moon or glasses, or you know how he looks like, stands in the middle of the room. Cole, what brings you here?
I hope you don't mind the intrusion so soon.
An intrusion from a friend is rarely an intrusion.
You see there's like frustration on his face, like he's trying to process and like he knows not to piss off an elder, so he's trying to dance around like, how do I say this politically? I went back to the old chantry.
Did you now? Well,
as requested.
yeah, I must say, you've been faster than I had anticipated.
Well, there was a whole situation with Karsh where he gave me exactly the same request, except he said I'll be dead in 7 nights if I don't get it done, so that kind of lit a proverbial fire under my boots, if you will.
Ah, yes. The threat of violence can move us to do so many things, doesn't it?
Indeed. So I went back to the old chantry, performed a new ritual that I've just learned from that book. It allowed me to see what happened that night, see what actually happened that night.
Oh, well, I'm impressed by your studiousness. It was lucky you woke up with that book.
I'm not so sure it was luck. I think it was predetermined.
Something tells me it was as well. So, what did you find out, my young protege?
That it was Darius, but he was just a puppet on someone else's strings. He looked like he was being controlled, likely through domination or some other blood sorcery that, well, I'm not akin to.
There are ways our kind can influence their powers over others. That is certainly true.
Clarissa
Ramírez shivered
Ramírez
at that in the moment.
Looks really sheepish.
There was another figure in the room with him, one I didn't recognize, but I recognized the voice he was speaking with.
That is interesting.
It was your own.
I wasn't sure you'd recognize it.
Eidetic memory comes in handy sometimes.
Well, there was a reason why you were turned. Embraced. Sorry.
Weirdly enough, it was a very similar situation to this, wasn't it? A string of crimes all led to you.
So I suppose I can see some sort of similarity.
So I guess my next question is, how do we proceed?
Oh, you're such a good little dog. Still following the pyramid, exactly as you should. I must say you have made me proud, coming to me first. I have always admired you, Cole. Your persistence, your ability to see and solve what others couldn't, comes in handy. And what I also liked about you was your loyalty. Suppose now is your moment to prove it. What happens next? Completely up to you. You can either go out, step to the Camarilla, tell Karsh what the big bad Strauss has done.
Or
you can use it, turn it to your own advantage. I'm sure you have other enemies.
and what are you suggesting?
In the meantime, make the clan stronger. The reason why it had to be all burnt to the ground was because they were losing their way. Karna, Gortrix, fucking Ipsissimus, and his voice is filled with bile. They all were infecting the camp. It's like a disease that needed to be cleansed. If the clan is to be strong, we need to be united. We need to be as one as we once were. Our blood, as much as we try to justify it, is weak. We need the strength we have in the quality of our people, and that quality was simply no longer there.
He'll, even though he doesn't need to breathe, he'll still sigh at that. You've given me a lot to think about. I'll admit that's troubling, because if I help you, what guarantee do I have that you're not going to turn on me and my allies here?
My loyalty lies with the pyramid. My loyalty lies with the clan. If you remain loyal to me, remain loyal to the clan, you have nothing to fear from. That's what I wanted to show. You have always been good. You have always followed direction. You have always put the clan first. It is why you survived. However, turn away from me, from the clan, and I am sure you won't make it through the year.
Why Darius, of all people, though? He was as much an advocate of House Tremere as both you and I.
He made it out as well, didn't he? He didn't want to do it. And it took some persuasion. Even had to alter his memory so he could live with himself after. But he's still a good pawn. He's still loyal, such as I hope you will be as well.
Loyalty can be useful both ways.
That is very, very true. Cole, don't you see? Where he once were all the way down on the ladder. And you to take a step up. And you to be my right-hand man.
Climbing all those burnt bodies to get
I will come back. I came back to San Francisco to take my place, to rebuild the clan here, to make sure we are strong once again. But I need someone who can show me they are loyal to me. Now you know what happened. You can choose to do with it as you wish. You have some leverage over me. It is up to you if you decide to use it. Trust flows both ways, as you said. I trust you as long as you trust me.
Well, as I said, I have a very limited amount of time to give an answer to Karsh. So if not you, I need to still hand someone over. Someone needs to take the blame for this. I don't particularly want it to be Darius. As I said, he was as loyal as I was. So someone else needs to take this fall. Now, I certainly have a couple of thorns in my side that I would happily hand over. But we need to make that convincing. And yes, I did say we.
Well, Cole, you have spent your life studying crime scenes, going from one bloody murder to the other. I am sure you're quite capable of framing someone for something they might not have done. Tell me.
He'll just give Strauss a kind of side-eyed look, and we'll just tip his head and nod ever so slightly and turn around and attempt to exit the room.
Yeah, sure. I think he will allow you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
Not sure if the rest is doing anything.
I'm like
but-
this.
Yeah, are you falling? Are you just staying in the room?
No. We're following suit. I'm sure at this point.
I'm
You know,
holding
this is out of
hands,
our
fine.
league. yeah. We're like, no. We know this is way out of league. So yeah.
Well, we may have
yes.
our
I mean, that
out
sounds wonderful, and that's what I was
with
thinking too. But
Lijun.
how? What are you going to make that convincing? How are we going to make that convincing?
A lot of framing to do.
Okay, well, I may be able to help with it a little bit, I suppose.
We just need to generate some information, coerce former accomplices, perhaps.
Coercion I can help with.
Very well. So, because I think this is quite like a nice endpoint to see where we are going from here. We will see our kindred again next time, soon, when they come back to San Francisco and probably attempt to frame one of the thorns in their side.